Picture this. It's 1899, and on the southern tip of Africa, a conflict is about to explode that will change the face of modern warfare forever. The British Empire, at the height of its power, is about to face off against a group of Dutch-descended farmers called the Boers. But don't let their humble title fool you. These farmers were about to give the mighty British Empire the fight of its life. The story begins with diamonds. When massive diamond deposits were discovered in South African territories in the 1870s, everything changed. British colonists started pouring in, dreaming of instant riches. But the Boers, who had called this land home for generations, weren't exactly rolling out the welcome mat. Imagine being a Boer farmer, watching as foreigners flood into your homeland, bringing their laws, their culture, and their hunger for wealth. The Boers had already moved inland once before to escape British rule, in what became known as the Great Trek. Now history seemed to be repeating itself. The British, led by the ambitious Cecil Rhodes, had their eyes on a unified South Africa under British control. The Boers saw this as nothing less than an existential threat to their way of life. The tension was like a powder keg waiting for a spark. That spark came when the Boers, fed up with British interference, issued an ultimatum. When it was rejected, they didn't hesitate. In October 1899, they launched a preemptive strike that caught the British completely off guard. The world's most powerful empire was suddenly scrambling to respond to these highly mobile, sharpshooting farmers who knew the terrain like the back of their hand. The war would introduce the world to guerrilla warfare tactics, concentration camps, and modern military technologies. The Boers, outnumbered but determined, would use hit-and-run tactics that would later inspire resistance movements worldwide. They proved that sometimes the underdog can shake an empire to its core. Though the British would eventually win in 1902, it was a Pyrrhic victory that cost them dearly in both resources and reputation. The war showed the world that even the mightiest empire could be humbled by a smaller, determined force fighting for their homeland. The Boer War wasn't just another colonial conflict. It was a turning point that marked the beginning of the end for the age of empires, showing that the days of straightforward imperial conquest were numbered. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most significant changes in history come from the most unexpected places, even from a group of farmers who dared to challenge an empire.